music bit in as well.
All right.
The Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome to our podcast, Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I am so excited to be here. As always, we are here every single Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And today we have special guest speakers that will be sharing with you their take on our topic, which is how to build your legacy. How to build your legacy. So we're going to hear from Leah Garcia, Amberly Shreve, Zion Anaguru, and Annie Osong. All right, so let's get started. Let's dive right in. We're here for about an hour. And when we think about legacy, folks, we think about how you want to be remembered, right? How you want to be remembered, because 100 years from now, none of us will be here. I know it's scary, but none of us will be here 100 years from now, right? So what are you doing to create a lasting legacy, right, for generations to come? So let's dive right in. I'm going to bring up our first speaker, who is our financial expert. Okay, and think about it. Finance has a lot to do with legacy, right? A lot to do with it. In fact, a lot of times when we think of legacy, that's what we think, well, leaving money behind and not debt, like a lot of people leave, right? So we're gonna go to Leah. Leah is a financial expert. All right, she helps you make money, save money, invest money, and she's just brilliant. And she's also a black belt in karate. So a black belt is someone that is disciplined, right? So she knows her stuff. So I'm gonna go out to California, where it is 4 a.m., 4:02 a.m., but she's always here to give us value. So, Leah, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Eric F. King of Collaboration. My name is Leah Garcia, financial strategist and insurance professional, and it is my crusade, my vision, my mission to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth so that you can build that legacy and create generational and multi-generational wealth for you and your loved ones. I love this topic, Eric. You always pick great topics. I could talk about this all day long and twice on Sunday, but I'm going to keep it to 5 minutes. So don't worry, Eric. I got you. So I'm going to give you 3 quick tips on how to build a legacy. I always say begin with the end in mind, right? What is the legacy that you want to leave? And then we can reverse engineer what that's going to look like. And it's called a living trust. An estate plan is really what it is. And what that does is that allows you to set aside what is going to be your true legacy. A lot of people work to build these assets, but for me, in my mind, I'm reaching into with those families that I help to those children in their future, not just their children, but their children and their great grandchildren, right? I want to be that, and Cassandra Terry always says this, that crotchety old lady with a picture over the fireplace, and our family goes, who's that lady? You know what? That's the lady that changed her last name forever. And it requires the 4 pillar professionals that I talk about, right? It's not just your estate planning attorney. It's not just your financial advisor. It really requires the 4 pillar professionals working together, looking at taxation and all of those other things. And so remember this, the rich and wealthy don't just leave assets. They leave their wisdom, their knowledge, their stories. That's truly how you build that true legacy and create that generational wealth. Number 2, if you're in that retirement red zone, which is the 5 years before retirement and the first 5 years after retirement, that's that retirement red zone. That's where most people get tripped up in those booby traps. That's where most people lose it. It's right. Imagine that being right at that 1 yard line, and then you have a fumble. And that's really what most people do. They haven't created their own personal pension. They don't have tax-free retirement. They don't have long-term care, and they haven't built that estate plan. So critical. So if you or someone you love is in that retirement red zone, that's the time to really get very detailed, to visit and revisit, to get different opinions, right? A lot of people think that it's just about that one time. You have to revisit it. Things change, laws change. Number 3, get professional help. Listen, if you want to drop an engine in your car, most of us are going to take that car to a mechanic. We're not going to take it into our garage and try to take it all apart. If I'm ill or diagnosed, I'm not going to try to figure it out myself. I'm going to seek that professional help. Why? Professionals, this is what I do all day long, is study this stuff. And there's no shame in that, right? 64% of families have never sought out a professional. And to me, that's tragic. This is not a DIY project. It is not a do-it-yourself project. It requires having those professionals. Now, listen, this is what I'm going to say to you. If you're here, it is not by accident. You are here by design. You meant to. Maybe you were looking for something else and you ended up here. There is no accidents. I don't believe in that. That's called serendipity. There's a reason that you're here, because you are the one to change your family's last name forever. That's how it works, right? And so I would love to have you say to yourself, or ask yourself this question. If you feel like I'm good, I would say, compared to what? Isn't it time to take you from good to great, and really to build that legacy so that you can create generational and multi-generational wealth? And think about this. If you know your grandparents' name, do you know your great-grandparents' name? How many greats can you go back? Well, the Rockefellers have been wealthy for 9 and going on 10 generationals, and because they built that legacy. So I would love to take you from good to great. That's my time, Eric, and I'm going to hand it back to you. Great to see you, Cassandra.
Thank you so much, Leah. That was powerful. We appreciate that. You know, when we think of legacy, a lot of times people think of money, right? How much are you leaving behind? But before you even think about that, you have to have the right mindset, right? Yeah, everything starts with the mindset, right? You have to have the right mindset. If it's money mindset or whatever kind of mindset. So that leads me to our mindset coach, all the way from Texas, who is here with us. We are so honored that she's here. So get your pens and paper ready to take some notes. Like I said, she's in Texas. She is an author. She is a speaker, and she is well known in the area of mindset. So without further ado, from the Cassandra Terry Morning Show, Cassandra Terry.
Thank you so much, Eric. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be re-engaged with this special group of folks, both the faces that are looking back at me, as well as you guys that are listening in and commenting. This is how I start my week, and I did not have the privilege last week. So I'm supercharged to be with you guys again, and great to be welcomed back. And I agree with Eric 100%. Whatever it is, it all begins with mindset. So the first thing we need to do is to get that clarity. We have to be, what does legacy mean to you? Leah just brought us a great presentation on legacy from a financial perspective and the things that we need to have in place. But if you take it back just a step, before you're ready, you need to clear the mind and gain that clarity of exactly what it is. What do I want to leave behind? What are my core values and principles that I want to instill to the people that are in my sphere of control, family and friends? What do I want them to know about me? What do I want them to remember about me? The ultimate question is, who am I? What am I leaving behind as the essence of who I am as a person? Right. And Leah is 100% correct. She spoke right into the legacy that I want to leave. I came from a history of financial lack, right? There was always more month than there was money, right? So that meant at the end of the month, food was scarce. The ability to do things, it just wasn't happening if it wasn't free. And I did not want that to be the experience that my children had. So that was very clear in my mind as a young person, right? So as I was making decisions, even in school, I was thinking about what life was going to look like on the other side of that poverty, how I was going to raise my kids, the things that we were going to do, the parts of the world that I was going to see. And guys, if you can see it, you can absolutely have it. So you have to purpose that legacy first in your mind. And then once you're clear about what you want, you also want to make a mindset shift. When we think about growth and personal development, that's internal stuff. That's the how I want to be different, what I want to experience, what I want to do. But when you're thinking about legacy, you're often thinking about how you're going to touch the lives of other people. So your focus can slide from that personal development of success to significance. What impact do I want to leave? Yes, I want to leave wealth to my family, but not just so they're living in the lack of luxury and just have money to burn. I want to leave that legacy because I don't ever want to see my family poor. I don't ever want to see my family struggling to have the basics of life. And I want them to be able to take their energy and focus on bigger things, focus on their legacy, focus on how they're going to continue to move the family forward. I don't want how they're going to be educated and how they're going to do the things that they would desire to ever be a concern, because I've laid a foundation that they can build upon. But if I don't share those principles, if I don't teach them how to manage, if they don't know about the things that Leah is talking about, they'll squander it and the finances will be gone quicker than I am. So it's not enough just to leave wealth, but you have to leave the ability to manage. The Rockefellers being 10 generations deep, there's some deep learning and lessons that have been passed on as to how to manage that wealth, how to continue to grow that wealth beyond just the dollars and cents of it all. So don't just think about that portion of it. Think about the impact and the lessons and the values that you want to leave behind, and do it all from the perspective of a growth mindset. You're going to fumble. Hopefully it's not on the 1 yard line, like Leah said. We want to fail fast, fail early, so we have time to recover, right? But you can recover as long as you stay in the game and you keep moving forward. So when you fumble, you ask yourself, why? How did that ball slip through my hand? How did I miss that pass? And then in answering that question, you learn something that you didn't know before. You take that in and you keep moving forward, more informed, more, wiser than you were before. So reflect and record. Think about the things that you really want to accomplish. And then you engage in mentorship on both ends of it. You be the sandwich. You be the middle of the sandwich in that mentorship. Who do you lean into to learn and continue to grow? And who are you reaching out to help so that you can pass on what you're learning to someone else? And then lastly, I want to encourage you to live intentionally, right? If you have that legacy in mind, if you have what's important to you in mind, every day as you're making decisions, you measure them against that thing. And make your yeses be profound and your no's be also the right no, so that if it doesn't align with what it is you're trying to accomplish, you let that thing go. It may be a good idea, but not the right idea for you. So keep your legacy front of mind and keep giving and sharing and focusing on mindset, and you will achieve whatever it is that you're setting out for. I'm Cassandra Terry, your mindset coach, and I look forward to hearing what the other speakers have to share. So Eric, I'm going to give it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as always. All right. So we're going to keep going. Before we do, I just want to welcome everybody and encourage everybody to put questions in the chat, right? You have a unique opportunity to ask us questions. So put your questions in the chat. Okay. There's no bad question, right? Just ask your question, but start with the word question. So I know it's a question. Okay. So I don't have to scroll through looking for them. Just a question and then, put your question. So welcome, Alexis. Good to see you, Coral, from Britain, all the way from Britain. And Tella from Albania, welcome. Conchita, welcome. Tanya, Vincent from Nigeria, welcome. Amaka, welcome. And the rest. But make sure you put your information in there so we can see I'll say something so I can shout you out. I'll just say something. All right. Okay. So we're going to keep going. Our next speaker hails from Maryland, which is not far from me. And we met online. And I was just so impressed by her skill and ability to build relationships online, and I'm sure in person also. But she's an expert at that, right? She's an expert. And it's a skill that we all need. She is a communications expert. She helps you to communicate about your businesses, helps you to stay in touch with other business owners, and skills that you need to build a business. All right. So we're going to go out to Amberly Shreves in Maryland. The floor is yours.
Well, good morning, everyone. And thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you. And I'm just so happy to be here with each and every one of you this morning. And this topic is so amazing. I mean, think about it. How do you want people to remember who you are? And, you know, when we think about this topic, you think about, what are you leaving behind? How do you want to be remembered? How are you going to stand out and make a difference? And I have a couple tips that maybe you haven't thought about before about how you want to leave your legacy. What do you want to leave behind so that people will remember how you left footprints on their hearts? So impactful work, dedicate yourself to your work, make a positive impact. And make a difference in other people's lives. Mentorship and teaching. You know, how are you teaching others how to move through their day, depending on your area of expertise, but how are you teaching others to be able to move through their business, to make a difference in people's lives? The relationship piece is something that's very near and dear to my heart. You know, when I think about business, I have to put love and joy and kindness in all of it, because that's the core of who I am as a person. So I always want to lead with love. I always want to bring value to someone else and how I can help and bless and serve them. So find your areas that make you who you are and bless others and teach them how you can help them and leave them better than you have found them. Donating. You know, how are you donating to your community? Whether it doesn't always have to be financial, but how are you donating and giving back to your community? Preserving traditions. That's a great way to leave a legacy. Environmental stewardship, achievements and accomplishments, and finally, written works. You know, how are you contributing to your community? How are you making a difference? How are you making a difference in other people's lives? That is really what we're talking about, because when we think about business in a whole, you are leaving a piece of yourself when you move on. You want people to remember the kind, loving, caring human that you were, how you were, you had so much knowledge and all that you taught others, and the places that you were able to take people because of who you are and who you have become. We don't always start out with the best, right? We go good, better, best. So you're moving into these pieces within business, and you're trying things out. Oh goodness, that didn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna pivot a little bit, and I'm gonna see how this works or how that works. And you figure things out along the way. And then as you meet new people, you bless and serve them with things that you have already learned that are going to help them achieve their success and their goals. And that's what it's all about, is building beautiful relationships, blessing and serving others, leading with love and kindness, being able to make a difference in others' lives. And I truly believe that is what makes us incredible business people, and that is a beautiful legacy. So when I want to be remembered, I want to be remembered as someone who truly cared about each and every person, regardless if I've met you or not. It does not matter. I still care about you, and I still care about your future, and I still care about how you build relationships, because truly without without relationships, there really is no business. We base our business off of relationships, and that is truly something beautiful, because within relationships, there is something magical that happens within business. You can collaborate, you can work together as a community or as a team to change and bless others' hearts. And that is my time for today. So when you're thinking about how you want to touch and serve others, think about how you're showing up, what you're doing each day to help someone else along and make a difference, because that is truly, truly what we are here to do, is to make a difference in other people's lives. So that is my time. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a beautiful week.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Carl says you are very kind, and we know that you are very kind. So we appreciate that. Some more golden nuggets. And thank you for all the people that are putting their questions in the chat. If you don't have questions, say hello, say something. All right. Appreciate everybody. All right. So we're going to keep moving. I'm going to share a few things, and I'm going to do it with stories. Okay. I'm going to tell you a few stories. Okay. So when my dad came to America in 1967, right? A long time ago. And he was the first person in his family to leave his country. He lived in Nigeria, right? First person. He didn't know anybody in his family, no friends, nobody that left Nigeria. But he just came, and he didn't have much money. And he just had the courage. He said, I don't know where I got it from, but I just thought there was something better out there. So, he came here, and here's what I want to say. The decisions you make can impact generations and generations to come. Because he did that, all of us, me and my 5 brothers and sisters, are all in America and Canada. Our children are here, and our children's children will be here also. So that one move he made changed generations of people. Generations. Like, he comes from a town where there's one tarred road. It's like all dirt roads, right? So I would have been there right now. If he didn't come down in 1967, I'd be right there selling oranges or something. No, so the decisions you make can change your life, right? And other people's lives. Also, I want to also say this: aside from money, your work ethic, right? The way you treat people, like Amberly said, that goes a long way too, because your children copy that. They copy that. My dad was he loves to help people. He had a real estate company, and he hired people, and then he would teach them what to do. And I'll be watching him. And like, one day I want to have a business where I can teach people and I can help them, and I can help them make money. And that's what I'm doing now. Right? So what if he was a mean person? What if he was a guy that ripped people off? That's what I'll be thinking. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do too. Right? So you always want to remember that people are watching. People are watching. All right. And also, I want to share real quick. The flip side is this: some of us were raised in a family where maybe there was abuse, or maybe they did things that are unethical, or what, we just had bad experiences, right? And some people, they take that bad experience and share it with everybody else, like their children, and then they keep going. But then some people say, I don't want them to go through that, right? So you can be the one to do that too. All right. So even if you came from a background, of a family that you regret being born into that family, you can change that. You can change that. All right. And then one last thing I'm going to tell you is, when I was growing up, my dad was a soccer player, right? He played soccer for college. That's how he got money to go to college and everything. He was so good, but I wasn't good at all. And I was the first son. So I could tell it was disappointing to him that he would take us out to play. And I'm like, Dad, I don't feel like playing. Can I just go watch TV? And you're like, okay. So here's the moral of the story. So when I had my kids, they're all good at sports. So I felt that, okay, I let my dad down by not playing. So I'm not going to let my kids down. And I go to every sporting event they do, every single to encourage them. Right. So sometimes you learn a lesson with growing up, you learn a lesson and then you impart that upon other generations. So I just want to share a few stories with you guys. Just to add to what everybody else said today, because we are all learning from each other. All right, so let's keep going. Our next speaker is taking a little sip of tea there, because he's in Britain, so I know he's drinking some tea. Because that's what they do in Britain, right? All right.
It is.
Yeah. So anyway, my good friend, and he is a marketing genius, a marketing specialist. If not for him, we would not be here right now, because I met him. I met a lot of these people on LinkedIn, and he taught me how to do LinkedIn audio rooms, and that's what led to this. You see, a decision he made, and that just came from nowhere. A decision he made is impacting us and can impact generations. Wow. I don't know how I did not rehearse that. Trust me.
No, but Eric, that's the truth, though, right? Thank you so much, Eric.
No problem.
It's the truth.
The floor is yours. Yeah, go ahead.
You see, I will say, that you had a tiled road in Nigeria. Goodness me, you've done well. See, I left Nigeria. There was one road, right?
Oh yeah, one road.
There was one road, in my village. When I went back 25 years later, the same road, no tar, same road, same potholes.
Wow.
You did well, my friend. Now, let me come back to the point. This is a huge point. I could get emotional, but I'll try not to, right? My friends, this is the question of legacy. It's the biggest questions I think we have to answer in our lives. Of all the things we talked about in this show, this question is the biggest one that we have to focus on, right? I tell you what made me focus, what made me realize this is what it's all about, really. COVID came, and I looked at myself in the mirror. I thought, man, they're all dying. I could die tomorrow. If I die tomorrow, what are they going to say about me? Really? And you realize, damn, it's not good. My life changed when I realized that. My business changed. Everything changed. Because as I said, the Grim Reaper can come anytime. Yeah, so Leah mentioned, dropping the ball, saying literally before your retirement. My friend, tomorrow could be your last day. Really. I'm saying when you realize that, you have to wake up and think to yourself, what would they say about me? Because they will say something. They will say something. That's what Eric talks about his dad. You can see the impact that someone can have. He loves helping people. The sporting side, the business side, the travel side. I'm saying, right, that's a legacy. All that can go on your tombstone. If you don't design what goes on your tombstone, my friends, something's gonna go there. Are they gonna make up what they want? Is it what you want to go on your tombstone that matters, right? I'm saying you have to realize your legacy is something you have to intentionally create, as Cassandra said. It's your biggest task in life. What will they say? Ask again. Look, I'd say I meet many people who think, oh, that's for later. That's for when I die. It's not. It's for now. I could die tomorrow, literally, because from what Eric just said, I did something for people who actually remember me. It sounds like just 6 of you, but it's not really, because, I do what I do on a bigger scale, right? I do what I do every day because I realize that is my legacy. That's what they will say about me. That's the impact I'm going to have on the world. I help people publish books because those books are going to outlive all of us, and they'll say any published 10,000 books. Right. So that's why I do what I do. Now, this legacy thing is huge. Now, okay, let me try and make it simple and as quick as I can, because my time's going, right? First, I'll say to you, my friend, start with family. Because your family are going to put those words on your tombstone. They really will. If you don't think about them, they'll put something else, right? Don't let them put something else down. You tell them what you want. Yeah, tell them what you want to put on your tombstone. The second thing I'll say, of course, as we mentioned earlier, your work. Make an impact on the world. Make that impact, and I said, and like whatever that impact is, helping people, designing something, creating something, make an impact. Don't be forgettable. Don't be insignificant. Now's your time, my friends. Right? That's my number 3. Now is your time. Live your legacy now. Don't wait till you die. Live it now. Otherwise, it's not going to happen, right? You know, be who you want to be. Be who you want to be remembered for. No, that's what you have to do. That's legacy for you. Make money as cool, of course, but be that person who does what you do. And everyone says, that's what that person was. That's what you are, right? I'll leave it at there, Eric. My time really has run out. I thank you very much, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much. I love that alarm of yours. Wish everybody had one. I'm going to be requiring alarms soon. Okay. Bring your alarm with you. I love it. Thank you so much, Annie. That was brilliantly said as always. All right. So our last speaker for the day is my good friend from Nigeria. Okay. I talked about my dad being born. He was born in Nigeria, and we were there for a long time. And Zion is there right now, right? And due to the great impact of social media and LinkedIn, we're able to meet Zion. So Zion is Mr. Positivity. Okay, he doesn't need a long introduction. We know him. You know, the ladies say he has a sexy voice. You be the judge. All right. So all the way from Nigeria, Zion and Egru, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric, for the wonderful introduction as always. It's a privilege to be here, and to the wonderful speakers who have gone before me, Cassandra, Leah, Ambali, Mr. Annie, and Mr. Eric himself, I want to say a very big thank you. And to the superstars at home who are listening to us from all over the world, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. And I'm wishing you a happy new month. Welcome to July. It's the first day of the month of July, kicking off the second half of the year. And I tell you, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great for you. So it doesn't matter how the first half has been, the second half will far much greater. Now, we're talking about a very interesting topic today, leaving a legacy. And I could not agree more with Mr. Annie when he spoke about leave your legacy now. Because at the end of the day, a legacy is not really what you leave behind when you are dead. It's actually what you give away as you are alive. It's what you give away now that you are alive. You know, for most persons, they're waiting, let me die, then my legacy can kick off. No, your legacy starts now. And as long as you are alive, you leave that legacy. And you must also understand that legacy is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not something you just run 100 meters and you get it. No, it's a marathon. It's continuous. As long as you are breathing, you have an opportunity to leave that legacy every day. I'm just going to give you a few tips on how to leave a legacy here. One is you must live with intention and purpose. I will say that again. As you must live with intention and purpose. For every one of us here, we are doing amazing things. I tell you, living legacy, you don't have to do spectacular. You don't have to do too much. From what you are doing, from where you are right now in your life, you can actually leave that legacy. You can actually leave that legacy. What are you passionate about? And how are you pushing it to be able to make an impact in the world? And in living with intention and purpose, two things must be involved: authenticity and integrity. Please don't just leave the legacy for the sake of it. You must be authentic in living that legacy. You must live with integrity in living that legacy. Because at the end of the day, imagine you have lived life and then people find out that it's a lie. Imagine the wasted effort. No, you have to live with authenticity and integrity. Live it. Be yourself in living that legacy, in making that positive impact, in making that difference in people's life. Wherever you want to do, in spite of pursuing fame, pursuing money, pursuing personal goals and objectives, make sure that you are impacting lives. Make sure that you are transforming people's lives. When people call your name, what would they remember you for? Take, for example, Mr. Eric. When you call Mr. Eric, he's a sales expert. When you call Leah, she's a financial expert. When you call Amberly, she's a relationship expert. When you call Cassandra, the mindset expert. When you call Mr. Annie, is the marketing genius. When you call Zion, he's the Mr. Positive Energy. So if somebody mentions your name, what will you be remembered for? Please, in doing that, make sure you push it with authenticity and integrity, because it's key. For the sake of longevity, for the sake of posterity, you must make sure these ingredients is part of what you do. And secondly, you must know that in building a legacy, you must learn to build relationship. Learn to build relationship. It is people that will sing your songs. I will say that again. It is people that will sing your song. A time will come, you cannot even talk about yourself. It is people that will talk about you. It is people that sees the impact you are making. They'll be the one to spread the good news to other persons to know the impact you are making. So in living your life, in living with purpose and intention, make sure you build relationship. Relationship with people who will support you, who will push you, who will encourage you in living the life of integrity, in living the life of authenticity. And lastly, you must understand that your legacy outlives you. It outlives you. In whatever you are building, make sure you are raising people who will carry it on. Make sure you are training people who will continue pursuing that goal, that vision, even when you are not here. That's the reason why I mentioned longevity and posterity. Because your legacy is not just for you, it's for people. It's for people that even for generations to come, when your name is being mentioned, they will remember you for the positive impact that you have made. Teach people how to do it and raise other leaders. At the end of the day, do not forget, in building your legacy, make sure you are building it with a positive mindset. Like I always tell you, in positivity, there is endless possibilities for you in building your legacy. So thank you so much for listening. I yield the mic over to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you as always. Another great job. Okay. So we're going to go to our questions. I want to welcome Linda Gray. Good to see you. Leslie Flowers. Good to see you. Let's see. Conchita, by the way, we appreciate you for summarizing everything we say and putting it out there. We really appreciate that, Conchita. Who else? Welcome. Let's see. Paulette Earl, good to see you. Welcome. All right, we appreciate all of you. Okay, so here's the first question. What are the common pitfalls or challenges you have faced in building your legacy, and how can you avoid them? All right, Amberly cannot wait to speak. Go ahead, Amberly.
Well, I think some of the challenges and pitfalls, and this is a combination. It has a lot of people in business. I have found that people make it about money. Oh, well, if you make tons of money, then shoot, you're wonderful and you're great and you have it all together. And you guys, that is not true at all. It is not. The whole point of a legacy is how you make other people feel, how you're leaving something beautiful that you have blessed others with, how you truly are showing up for them and making them feel. Yes, we all need money to live, and that's all wonderful and great. And if you're able to leave money to your loved ones, okay, wonderful. But when it boils down to it, were you someone of credibility? Were you someone that just were present in the conversations and you took a moment to just love on that person, or you really took a moment to feel their energy and say, hey, I just wanted to check in because I've noticed lately that you just haven't been yourself. And I just want to check in and make sure that you're okay. Because people aren't always going to share the things that they're going through, but someone who takes an interest and makes the time to be present, to be loving, to be kind. That's the difference. And to be honest, it is becoming more and more rare. So find a place within your heart where you can meet someone where they are. And that relationship is going to build, and you build on it, and it's beautiful. And people are going to remember not the challenges so much, but how you truly made them feel. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to go with Zion just because sometimes he may have to drop off. So Zion first, and then we'll go to Leah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric, for allowing me to speak. Now, one of the pitfalls that people encounter in leaving a legacy is the pitfall of comparison. Pitfall of comparison. We might be doing the same thing. Doesn't mean we are going to leave the same impact in people's life. So you must understand that your legacy is uniquely yours. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. They might be using the same principle you are using. They might be talking the same way you are talking. They cannot leave the same impact that you are leaving. So you must understand that you are unique and your legacy is unique. That's why you must continue to live with authenticity and integrity. Why? Because your legacy is yours and yours alone. So that's my contribution on that. Thank you so much.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Leah, go ahead.
I love that, Zion. The only person I'm comparing myself to is me. That's it. Getting 1% better every day, and every 100 days I'll be 100% better. So one of the pitfalls I think that people make is wanting to say yes to everything. You know, I get invited to do a lot of different things, and it would be very easy, very tempting to say yes, but it comes from knowing your core values. So when you know your core values, you can see what resonates with you and what doesn't resonate with you. And then it becomes very, very easy when I run it through that filter of what I'm going to say yes to. And really the most power comes from the things that I'm able to say no to. So I can block out the noise, because it is that distraction. And I heard this quote. It says, the enemy doesn't have to destroy us. All he needs to do is distract us. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Eric.
Wow, that's powerful. You dropped some nuggets that I just have to write down. Appreciate it. All right, who was going to go next? Okay, okay, go ahead. Annie. I forgot your name for a second.
It's all right, Eric. We'll get over that slowly, right? It's all right. No, I think, there are two things I want to say. If many people make a mistake and think it's for later, but let me tell you, a quick story. There's a young lady who's probably here on this call now. She's on this call. I know she is, right? She was diagnosed with cancer at 22. Imagine that, right? But she had treatment. She's fine now, and now she's moving on with life in a big way. Literally changing the whole business sector. That's her ambition. That's what she's working on. I'm saying that our time is it could be so short. It really could be. So don't be waiting until that day comes. No, do it now. Which gives us challenge number 2, the fact that this legacy thing is not a thing we do for a short period of time. It's not. There is no time. It is. We have to be that person. Eric, your dad was not. My granddad was not a temporary thing. There was he was global doctor, and literally that was his life for literally all his life, right? I'm saying we have to realize our legacy is something we live for years, for the rest of our lives, really. Yes, it can change. When it changes, we get better. But I'm saying, we have to be authentic, real, and live that life. Otherwise, it's not going to stick.
Absolutely.
The label might just rub off. Don't be that person, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I leave it at that.
Appreciate it. So anybody else? We do have other questions. Okay, go ahead.
Just really quickly, just back to how I began, and that's the clarity. I think we get so busy living that we lose that intentionality that Zion spoke about and what I mentioned in the beginning. You need clarity about the legacy that you're going to leave. so that you are making decisions, so that every choice that you make is moving you towards accomplishing that legacy. Otherwise, you're just going through the motions and you're living, and one day you're not, and you haven't taken the necessary preparations. So be clear, have that clarity, know what it is that you want to accomplish, and then keep that front of mind so that you're using it as a measuring stick for the decisions that you make going forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. So let's go to another question. Let's see. Okay, so we'll go with this question. So one thing I want to share real quick, which someone said this about people getting distracted. That is the number one thing I see a lot, right? And then I'll add this to it. A lot of times the challenge is we're good at different things and we want to do it all. We want to do it all, right? And then we're not known for anything, right? Right? You mentioned the name of one person, Comrade Hilton, known for Hilton Hotels, right? He may be a good tennis player, he may be a part-time barber, but we know Hilton Hotels, right? So find something you're passionate about and go all in. Go all in. Don't just do everything. You know, that's so important. Go all in, right? I met with someone, well, I've met with several people, but that want to speak on my stage. And I asked her what she does, and she said, I do this. I said, great. She said, and I also do this. Okay, great. And I also do this. Okay, great. And I go on her website. I go on her website. Listen to every kind of business under the sun. And I said, unfortunately, I can't put you on my stage because people will get confused. They won't know what it is you do, right? You have to be an expert at something. She said, wait, so I'm disqualified because I'm good at a lot of things? I said, I'm not saying you're disqualified. I'm just saying you have to have a focus to be on my stage. You see what I'm saying? So, and I think that just in life, we have to have a focus. We have to have a focus. All right. So let's answer this question. Who'd like to answer? Alexis says, how do we ensure or measure that our intentional actions reflect the type of legacy we desire to create? You see, you can tell a writer wrote that. Like, you have to read it twice to really understand it. I'm like, look, some people didn't go to school over here. Okay, so Alexis, you need to dumb it down a little bit. Anyway, thank you, Alexis. I'm messing with you. Go ahead, Leah. And by the way, when you speak, folks, let us know how we can reach you. We have about 15 minutes to go. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, great question. You know what? That comes from deciding what is a legacy you want to leave. I say begin with the end in mind, and then you can reverse engineer. And how do you track your progress? You know what? I journal. So that I could start to track and see and correct those errors. Listen, I'm going to say I mess it up all the time. I mess it up every day. And it's really what I found in my journey is when I get outside of my comfort zone, when I do the things that I don't want to do, I have the best progress. My first video was, hi, my name is Leah Garcia. I sell insurance. Literally. And that was literally it. And now I'm here on this podcast. I never saw this, but I knew it was something that I didn't want to do. That's what I did. So my name is Leah Garcia. My best social media is LinkedIn. I would love to share with you my Wall of Wealth, which is my one-page financial plan, proprietary one-page financial plan, which will help you to see where those booby traps are, those blind spots in your finances. Hand it back to you, Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right. Who'd like to go next? Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
You know, again, I think this comes back to clarity that Cassandra mentioned. You know, I think being very clear on your goal and what you want to be, what you want to be remembered for, right? Known for. It's the same thing. You know, again, you know, I think once we're very clear, almost every day, everything we do is guided towards that goal. You know, but it does take us thinking about the goal. You know, I think about my legacy every day. You know, literally, you know, in a mindset perspective, we tell, you know, visualize, you know, and live it. You know, it's don't just put it on paper and put it in a drawer and let it gather dust. Literally, you know, live it, visualize it, be obsessed with it, and almost naturally, the things you do will fall into the right direction. How do you measure? I think you'd be honest with yourself. Reflect on how am I doing. Again, every morning, every evening, every night, I will ask myself, have I achieved what I want to achieve today?
Yes.
Have I made progress? What can I do better tomorrow? That's how you met that. And slowly but surely, you become that person. Don't think of legacy as a thing out there. It's you. It's how you live. I almost want to say, don't measure it. Just be that person that you want to be. I'll leave it at that.
Powerful. How can we reach you, Annie?
LinkedIn is always my LinkedIn is my home, right? Sadly, so I say that now too. Of course, I got a website, but connect with me on LinkedIn. And then I'll give you my website and my other socials.
Okay, appreciate you. Amberly, go ahead.
So I really believe that, being intentional in everything that you're doing, whether that is connecting with people, being present in their lives, sharing the gifts that you have, is truly a wonderful way to be able to help others. I think that is a really beautiful way. I think, again, I can't stress the relationship part enough, because relationships are so incredibly important. Mm-hmm. And I think that the credibility and integrity piece is huge. I think that when people know, like, and trust you, they are going to want to hear more about what you have to say. They're going to want to follow you. They're going to want to see what you're doing and what you're involved in. And that way they can learn more about how you can help them be the best expansions of themselves. So that's what I have for today. You guys, this is my birthday month. So many exciting things are happening. I have my first in-person event. Telling you, it's going to be so much fun. If you have not registered yet, I did put some information, at least I tried. I'm not sure if it came up, to register for my event. It's going to be in the Baltimore area. I would love to see you and give you a big old hug and just share. It's going to be a day of fellowship. It's going to be all about our gratitude movement and appreciation, and how I can bless and honor and serve you and support your business in the most beautiful way. You can reach me on all the socials. I am heavily active on LinkedIn. Keep on sharing. TikTok. So reach out to me. I want to know how I can be there to help you. And I hope everyone has a great week.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Who else want to share and give us how they can be reached? Go ahead, Zan.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Yes, to answer the question, I love what Mr. Eni has said earlier. It's good that you are sincere with yourself, because if your action is not matching your intentions, you will know. If your thoughts, your desires are not going with your actions, you will know. So be sincere with yourself, and also have an accountability partner that can be sincere with you. Mm-hmm. Some person might just pet you just to appeal your emotions. Have people who are very sincere with you, who will look you in the face and tell you the truth. You are not doing the right thing. So if you must ensure that you are pursuing your legacy, be sincere with yourself, and have people around you who are sincere with you. Yes, you can reach me on all socials, but I'm very active on LinkedIn. Zion Inaugural, just type it. I think I'm the only Zion Inaugural there.
I think so too.
So just actually reach out to me, and let's go on a journey of positivity together. So that's that for me. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Another tip: make sure your name stands out. I used to put Eric King, and nobody will find me. Like, they're like 100 of them. When I put Eric F. King, I'm the only one in the world. Eric F. King. I'm like, perfect. So find a way for people to reach you. All right. So did you put up your hand, Cassandra?
I did not, but I'm always happy to share.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to go back really quickly to the clarity that we talked about, because her question says intentional steps. So that means you're mindful in the actions that you're taking, right? And so if you've done the work to be clear about what it is that you want to accomplish, those actionable steps, those purposeful, intentional steps that you take will align with that greater purpose. So keeping, as Leah said from the very beginning, starting with the end in mind, having that clarity, knowing where it is that you want to go, and then charting the map, charting your place from where you are to where it is that you want to be. Those intentional steps are designed to take you on that path. So as long as you have the clarity, Alexis, of where it is you want to go, those intentional steps are exactly what you'll need to get you there. They will tie beautifully together. And you can reach me on all the socials. And my website is thevoicewithinwins.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Voice within wins. I hear that all the time in my head. I've heard it so many times. That voice within wins. All right. Anybody else? Leah, did you share your contact information?
I did, but I'd love to share something else. I collect heart rocks on the beach. And look at this heart rock I found yesterday. This is the biggest heart rock I've ever found. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank
Fun
you,
fact
Leah.
about me.
Thank you. You see, and if you live in California, you can get hot rocks just like that. All right. Before we go, let me just let everybody know. My site is studiospeaking.com. I am still looking for a couple of speakers for my next event. So if you feel that you're an expert in something, you're an expert in something, then contact me. All right. So we are winding down. Has everybody shared? I think everybody has shared their contact information, right? Okay, good. All right. We have about 4 minutes. So one thing I did want to let everybody know. Oh, by the way, let me just reach out some shout out some people. Margaret, appreciate you being here, Margaret. Let's see, Paulette, Jasmine, good to see you. I think it's the same, Margaret. Linda, Dr. Gwen, good to see you. James J, good to see you. All right, welcome everybody, people from all over the world. So for everybody on the line, make sure that you continue to show up for these events. I mean, we continue to show up for you, and then also reach out to the coaches, reach out to the speakers, to get more information, to go further, right? Because sometimes you hear something like, I need more, then contact them, because we're all online ready to help you. All right, so we'll just go ahead and end now. I don't want to get into another question because then we'll go over. I want us to make sure we don't go over, because I always promise that we're going to be done in 1 hour. So thanks for being here, folks. We will see you next week, same time. And as always, it has been a plum-pleasing pleasure to be here with you this morning. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.